It kind of had a bit of a base. The volume just started coming in at 12:30, despite the fact that that news item I just read to you guys came in at 8:30. So I'm kind of hesitant to think that this is why it's shooting up. I'm talking about GELS. It's got a market cap of around 30 million with about a million shares traded so far. I'm seeing a 6 to 7 penny spread on a $3 name, which doesn't please me. A float here, I'm seeing 9.5 million shares. Let me Google over here to see what the short float is on it. Shout out to Trade Ideas. Yeah, I've got 1.3 million shares. What's it called? Trade Ideas is saying, sadly, though, no short float to speak of, so we'll have to fly blind in that regard. Anyway, zigging and zagging right now between $3 and $2.85 at the lower end of that range. I'm not going to punch in until this stock calms down, or I can gauge what the setup is. But for now, I'm going to stay clear. Adara, though, has something for us at the big desk.
I do. I just really wanted to take a look at Lululemon because I did notice some questions about it in the chat, and there's some really interesting technical levels on LU. They did have a price target increase this morning. It's day 2 earnings. But in terms of catalyst, it looks like this is a pretty interesting technical look. So I'm going to do some TA here, if I may. We had some nice support this morning here around that 399 level, which was our closing level on earnings day 1 on Friday. Then, if you notice here, we have this area where we kind of find a little bit of a bounce as of right now at that 405, which was definitely resistance and then support both on the book and on the chart here on this 15-minute chart. I also want to talk about this one just because of how it's interacting with these $10 levels. So 420 here, we had these rejections of 420 before pushing to the downside. Then we had a flat bottom break here at 410. 410 was a level we were not able to eclipse going back to earnings day 1 on Monday. So be aware of that 410 level and of these $10 levels on LU. Just a quick look at TA to answer any questions about what this stock is doing. Again, no catalyst in terms of a fundamental standpoint, but lots of interesting technical areas today for that Lululemon.
Thank you very much, Adara. I was just complaining to Neil, because he's a fellow PanDub holder, so I'm sure he could sympathize. PanW is down like almost $20 with no news. So I was just complaining to him, like, these cybersecurity names, if you're not ready for the beta on these cybersecurity names and with no news, you might wake up, Joseph, everything is fine, and then somebody doesn't like it that day.
Let's see
they want to take out some profits on PanDub. Boom, you're down $20 a share. Quick as you like.
Let's see what its peer CrowdStrike is doing today. What is CrowdStrike doing today?
Is that the daily?
This is the weekly. We will bring it down to the daily.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, hey, so that's not too bad for you. So I guess CrowdStrike is selling a little bit here as well too, guys. So the cybersecurity ones are, the tech sector is weak today, guys. Look at the Qs, look at the SPY. And speaking of sectors, let's take a look at XLF, because one of my favorite, because of Jamie Dimon and the boys. Weak as well too, guys. So the market getting a little more defensive on this one. Consumer staples was the 3rd place. So let's take a look at Walmart, actually, and see what Walmart is up to and see if it's strong today, because the market, and again, weak. Ooh, but I do like this here on the 15-minute tree. If you see this, wow, okay, I didn't even mean to do that, but you see that nice hammer doji right at the bottom there on Walmart. So yeah, let's break this down to a 5-minute, because we might look to get involved on this one here. Yeah, and I like this this resistance zone that we are potentially testing. Gives us a definitive out. Yeah, I think we're going to play this one here, my friend. So yeah, guys, continue to put those votes in the chat. We only have 15 minutes left. Just over 800 votes, guys. Let's get that to 1,000, and then we're going to place that paper trade. So keep that in mind. But in the meantime, I am going to set up a potential Walmart trade here.
All right.
Because I like it from a intraday standpoint. So yeah, we'll get a small position in here on Walmart here, guys, just because I do like where it is on a 15-minute time frame and on the 5-minute. So RDDT and Walmart are our 2 current positions on that front. So we have rejected VWAP on our DDT, so I think I might take just a little bit off here, nothing crazy, just to protect some of these unrealized, and then sure enough, there we go. Let's see if we can break, because if that volume is sustainable and we break VWAP, then I think we can see some higher price action and price movement in our DDT, but we are off to Adara.
I just wanted to mention BB, Blackberry, which has been running a bit here. This is the 15-minute chart. This has not had a red candle since 11 a.m., though it looks like we might have our first red candle in the 15-minute in almost 2 hours potentially here. They do have a short float of 4.27%, market cap of 1.7 billion and a float of 500 million shares here, just around 543 million shares. I'm not seeing any catalyst on Blackberry, though I do want to point out we have earnings in this name in just over a week. They're reporting here after the bell on Thursday, December 19th. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks for that, Adair, because we were just talking about it there with people in the chat. People is like, yo, BB is moving. What's his name? Asked me, Kanye East. He's like, brother, you haven't talked about Blackberry, have you? I'm like, no, I haven't. You know, one of the sad Canadian stories in any event, Blackberry is moving on the day, 11%. Adair says she can't. Absolutely. Adair was talking about how there was no catalyst on it. Yeah, I don't see a catalyst either, Joseph, but I got to send it to you because we got bills to pay.
Yeah, we got bills to pay for sure, guys. Yeah, so we're sitting here in RDDT and Walmart. We're breaking those resistance levels. And now we're starting to move a little bit higher here, guys. So we like that on Walmart. Let me pull it up here for you real quick. Not a horrible entry, but again, a little bit more of a slow burner Walmart is. So you got to take a little bit more size on this one. But yeah, let's see if we can continue recovering nicely. But we like this, guys. 837 votes. Come on, get those votes in. What are we doing? Long or short? Let's see what the overall sentiment is. 62% long. But yeah, anyways, AI long C3 AI is coming up, I think, tonight as well too. So let's take a look at that.
Are we ready, Raymer?
Yeah, are we good to go here?
Okay.
Okay. All right. There we go, Sharif.
Imagine, Joseph, trading with someone else's capital instead of your own. That's what it means to be a funded trader at Trade the Pool. And this is how it works. First, you complete the evaluation program by meeting those profit targets. Once you succeed, you trade the pool's capital, which allows you to trade with up to $260,000 in buying power. The best part is you keep up to 80% of the profits while the firm takes all the risk. It's the ultimate way to trade, whether you're a beginner or professional trader. So come on, guys, go on and check tradethepool.com. You can check the link in the description of this video, or if you've got your phone handy, scan that QR code on the bottom right of your screen. Shout out to Trade the Pool. And yo, man, that competition was really interesting last week to see what people were making and how they were printing. Like some people in one stock, all of a sudden they're up at the top of the leaderboard. Some people 3, 4, you know, they diversify the game a bit. So shout out to Trade the Pool, Joseph. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, not at all, my guy. We're just holding off onto these positions here. I know someone in the chat mentioned LDTC. So I pulled that up on my overview here just to see what they do. So Ladar Tech Holdings, Inc. is a Canada-based global automotive software company. The company develops and provides comprehensive artificial intelligence. Okay, yeah, that's really interesting. So I pulled that up. Let me take a look at the technicals. It's sitting around a $40 million market cap, so super small cap, micro cap even. But let's pull up some technicals here on this one. Sorry guys about that. Wow, yeah, what a massive gap up on this one here, but again, just decimated from the all-time highs. Not something I would be looking to get involved with on that one. Ladar Tech Holdings, I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't like the technicals on it, and it's just a micro cap, only $40 million market cap on that one, guys. Walmart is starting to pull back a little bit. If we break this level around 94, then I'm gonna get out of the position, and I think we can continue to the downside. So let's take a look at the top performing sectors as of right now, and see what's going on, and see if the staples are still in third place there. Yeah, still in third place. Energy still in first, up about 0.75% there. Materials about 0.6, and then consumer staples up about 0.3 on that one, guys. But I took a little bit more out of my RDDT position just because we are hovering below VWAP on this one. So if we decide that we're going to break, I am going to add on this position as well. So just because I took some off, now I want to add back in, which I think I'm going to do right now because it is breaking VWAP with some momentum here, Sharif. Yes, so let's take a little bit of an add there. It's going to move our average up significantly, but hey, we're going to hold on to this one.
I like it, man. I like the aggression too, the adding at the highs there, Joseph. Shout out to you, man. Guys, I want to talk about GXAI and how I'm not going to trade this until it sets up different. So what I'm seeing now is lower highs with a flat bottom. Let me show you the actual trading screen rather than the setup over here. There it goes. All right. Okay. Well, here we go. GXAI. So, area crest over here at 550. I know we weaseled on to 555, but if you take that 550 as the highest crest of them all, so crest number 1, and then you have crest number 2 here at 510, lower high. Then you have over here at 5, lower high. So we're getting incrementally lower highs all the while that bottom at 470 not changing. What does that mean?
Dang.
Bro, you get back, you always make me crack up. All right, Dara's got breaking news at the desk.
I do. We have T-Mobile here breaking down. We are down about 5%, as you can see here, quite the increase in volume. At a UBS conference, the CEO of T-Mobile reportedly said that their Q4 is going to be, quote, back-end loaded, and actually cautioned investors, saying that, quote, there is a lot of risk in the back half. So basically saying that near the end of Q4, I guess that we're currently in the back half of Q4, there should be some concerns for investors due to the amount of risk. So TMUS here, the CEO cautioning investors responding here by selling the stock. We are down about $5 here, $4 from where the sell-off began here for TMUS. Back to the Bash Brothers.
I appreciate that, Dara. We were talking to the Katina man here trying to make sense of what's being said. I'm not sure what he means by that. Back-end loaded and investors should be cautious as there is a lot of risk in the back half. All I care about with this headline is how this affects Apple. Are they saying iPhone 16 sales are weak? The Katina man just took Apple short right now. So, yeah, there you have that. So I'm concerned about that, quite frankly. What's it doing? Is it tanking? Let me have a look at what Apple is doing right now. Apple just dipped aggressively, Katina man. He's short right now, 246. It's breaching 246. It's coming back down. This is Apple affecting news right now. And now, whether it continues down or not, a different story. We were printing 246.89. We dipped into 245.71s. We'll have to see if it gets bought up. Volume weighted average price, Joseph, 245 and a third. So the bleeding is coming in here as one of the telecom companies, one of the instruments we use to gauge demand for Apple's products, saying there's going to be weakness on the back end. I don't want to hear any puns from you, Big Spile, about back ends or otherwise. So shout out to you. I guess I'm setting him up for that, eh? By telling him not to do it.
Yeah,
he's going to do it now,
Joseph.
He's doing
it for sure. It's only a matter 100%. Of time until the super chat comes in.
I hope he does the super chat. Just throw it in there, Big Spile. Shout out to you, brother. Yeah, that's not good news. We've heard varying reports from different telecom companies. AT&T, when they reported about a month and a half ago, said weakness or demand was decent. T-Mobile said demand was good when they reported. That was like 2 months ago, though. Well, obviously, things can change. A lot is riding, in my humble opinion, with Apple's stock price, at least in the short to intermediate term, with how well the 16 does. The iPhone 16, obviously, with many analysts talking about a super cycle. You got to assume that some of the ascension in the price has got to be based on that outcome. And if it doesn't manifest, well, then what happens to the stock price? So you gotta, those are questions you gotta ask.
If we get that when we get that full Apple Intelligence, I'm upgrading. It's that simple.
Same. And I want to see how it is and we know how this is, Joseph. I mean, like, they can wax poetic all day about what it can do. People are not going to want to adopt it en masse until I see you sending me stuff that I can't see. And then my friends are engaging with all these AI features that I can't use. All of a sudden, I've got FOMO and I want to do it. We got to go back to Dara at the Big Desk. She's got something for us.
Actually, an update on this T-Mobile story, which might not be a great look for Apple, as Sharif mentioned here. Basically, we now have the T-Mobile CEO saying that their device upgrade rate is, quote, pretty low. So that could be concerning for people who are banking on an Apple supercycle. So be wary of TMUS, down now about 5.5%, almost 6%. Firstly, we had the CEO saying that Q4 is going to have some risks in the back half and that investors should be cautious. Now we have the CEO even clarifying further that their device upgrade rate is, quote, pretty low, which could be a bit bearish for Apple. We're going to take a look at this chart here and see how AAPL is reacting to this news. Still up 1.5%. But again, anything that has to do with upgrade rates could be a bad look for AAPL with that super cycle and watch. Back to you guys.
Yes, thank you very much there. Dara, I want to caveat that when he says the upgrade rate is pretty low, he's not just identifying the iPhone 16. He's identifying all different phones that they offer, Android, Apple, and whatever else they're selling. So we should definitely keep that in mind. Anything you got there, Joseph?
No, yeah, just holding on to this RDDT, guys. But hey, 70 votes away from 1,000 there, guys. Let's get it to 1,000, and then we can close this up. We only got 3 minutes left, so I'm sure you guys can hit that button for us and get it to 1,000 votes. What are we doing? Are we going long or short SPY? As of right now, the majority holds the long side, and the SPY and Qs are starting to make some new lows. It will not look new 5-minute lows on that front there, guys. Because Apple, as I pointed out not too long ago, if we break this support level, we can see some more potential downside, and that seems to be the case on this front. Let's see if we can go and test VWAP around 245.36. But it looks like we are headed down that way. Really, really strong bullish run for Apple, especially the past couple of days. Like, this is an absolute monstrous run. Sharif pointed out this signal not too long ago, and we did get that little bit of a breath, but then we just made new all-time highs on Apple. So just trading a little bit below $250 there. So keep that in mind. And need I not to remind you, Sharif, I bet 20% selling that you did. No, it's a great call, man. You had to lock in the gains. You're holding that. I'm only poking the bear there. Because I do know you still have the majority of that
brother,
position. And that's what matters.
Bother me, like the fact of the matter is, you gotta wet your beak a little.
You gotta get some profits. You know what I mean? I know you're buying a new iPad, so there you go.
I got it already.
You got the iPad, so there you go. So Apple paying for your iPad there, essentially. Right?
What's going on over there, Katina, man?
Yeah,
what is this guy talking about, bro?
He's printing up over there, man. He's printing.
All right, guys.
He's printing.
What are you saying?
50 votes, guys. Come on, let's get those 50 more votes.
2 minutes. 2
minutes, yeah, let's go. Come on.
Now.
2 minutes, and then that's it. Then we're going to, Sharif, I'm going to send it over to Sharif. He's going to document it, and then we're going to document the trade on the Excel sheet.
I absolutely love this idea, man. Every day we've got something to look forward to. Do we finish up or down on the day from where we started? Right now, Joseph, the ES is not faring a lot better than the NQ, down 0.41. The NQ, the worst of all four major averages right now, down 0.75%, down below 21,500. Big spile if you're there. What are you looking at, man? Are you looking at taking that continuation short? We got a big pop there through 20,500, but it looks like we're going to continue to make those lows. We've been locked in a bit of a range, guys, here on the NQ December contract. It looks as if, 21,520 to the top side and about 21,480 or 85 to the downside. So locked in a bit of a range. We are coming into those lows quite aggressively right now with that topping tail rejecting off 525. Shout out to my birthday. We'll see exactly whether we can remake higher highs. That candle, that topping tail candle that I was just mentioning, did actually make a local high, but it was quickly reversed there. Continuing to watch Apple bleed. I think I'm going to jump into the short. I think that this is the right thing to do over here on AAPL. We're going to weasel into an Apple short over here, and come what may, we'll look to add possibly if it pops back in. From what I'm seeing, the previous candle high, 246.50. All right, where did we get short? We got short 22s, and we're already 10 pennies in the money, so we're going to look to wet our beak on some profits over here. I'm going to set some more dip trades or beak wetters in the lows. I'll look to add as well if this one does pop up into the 50s, 246.50s. The reason being there, that is the high of the previous candle. So it'll be looking, my bias is here, we don't make a new candle to make a 5-minute high. So if that's my case, if that's my bias, I'll be looking to add short in and around there if it does give me that opportunity. But right now, it looks like it may continue to bleed to the downside, hence why we threw up some profit takers in the low teens there. Jameson says, short Lulu. Well, I don't trade Lulu, but I know somebody else who does, and she's at the big desk, but we'll have her look at that once we send it back to her on a different segment. Let's have a look at Lulu right now. Lulu's been a dang rocket ship since it reported earnings. You need only look at the volume bars over here, coming back into that 420, and then rejected on the day. Is that the high of the day? No, don't. It's 420.21. Come on. Hey. Why was it at 420.20? Come on. In any event, it's a bit of a topping tail candle right now, Joseph. We're definitely a lot closer to the lows than we are the highs. Let's look at the it intraday. Yeah, definitely had a lot of trouble with 420 over here. I think Adara was actually telling me that 420 level, and she just confirmed that it was. So shout out to her. She read it like a dang book, and now it's dropping into that 404. Is it holding previous days high? No, the answer to that is not. So that level was 410. That got breached already. So we're already below that. So now what we're looking at here, possibly the bottom end of the range takes us to about 396. And that's also where the implied balance low is at the 9:30 a.m. print today. Look where that print takes us. It takes us into 396, but that's not the only candle in isolation. Have a look at that candle over here from 10:15 on Friday. It also goes into 496. So an interesting area there of support. I wonder if we get down there. Let's talk more about that though once we get back from Adara at the big desk with a crypto segment.
We do have this crypto segment. Really quickly first though, I actually wanted to mention a potential catalyst here for solar due to a conversation on Twitter between, believe it or not, Elon Musk here, CEO of Tesla, and Sundar Pichai, CEO of Alphabet. Basically what happened here is we had Sundar Pichai announcing a quantum move here for Google, Elon Musk replying, and then Sundar Pichai saying that the company should scale solar much more, saying, quote, "It's amazing that we keep looking at alternatives when the most obvious path is staring at our eyes," literally. I didn't see much movement in solar on this, but I'm seeing some accounts circulate this Twitter thread and tagging solar, so just be aware we have some potential solar looks here from Google CEO Sundar Pichai. Now, in terms of crypto, I always like to start here in this afternoon segment by looking at some stuff we don't always look at in the crypto space. So I decided to start here with Pepe Coin, PEPE. I was seeing this article here from Bitcoin.com News that a lot of these altcoins are doing really well here. So this is Pepe Coin to the US dollar, making that nice push to the upside and a bit of a rounded bottom and a bull flag look for this ticker. Then I wanted to look here at Solana USD because this one's actually coming into a fascinating level. We usually look at Bitcoin in the morning, but so I like to take a look at some of these other major crypto related plays. We have this massive resistance here, Monday, November 11th here for Solana. Then we have the support coming back here around 226, same level. Now we're trying to break below that previous support resistance for SOL. It's also worth noting we've had lower highs as well for Solana. So we'll have to see if we hold up at this level, but that's quite the push to the downside for SOL to the US dollar. I also wanted to make you guys aware of something that's happening in Abu Dhabi right now, and it is the Bitcoin MENA, so the Middle Eastern version of this Bitcoin conference that we had Donald Trump, Michael Saylor, and others attending back in July. Apparently, some figures are going to involve Donald Trump's son, Eric, who's been at this event here. We also have the new White House envoy for the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, and he's also the co-founder of World Liberty Financial. So a lot of DJT-related connections here. Keep an eye on that stock and keep an eye on the crypto space here because this could be a pretty interesting look coming out of this conference. Also, I can do a quick look here. I know people mentioned Lululemon. I think, Sharif said there that 410 level and 420 is pretty interesting, that 420 rejection. The fact, too, that we had that push through 410 on slightly expanding volume, which was that high of day that we struggled with on Friday, is a pretty interesting level. We had that 410 interest. I would say the next level of interest could be this rejection we had near the end of the day on Friday around 402.50, 402.60. That is just my take, though, as someone who reads spread and trades a little Lululemon. So hopefully that trade isn't too sour for anyone. With that, we will end the crypto segment / Lulu analysis and go back to Sharif and Joe.
Appreciate you, Adara. Yeah, man. Adara was literally telling me those levels today, so shout out to her. Yeah. Great call out. Joseph, what are you looking at?
All right, Sharif, it's time that we place our paper trade. So you know how we're going to do this, brother. I'm going to get you to read me out the metrics on SPY because the poll came out, and we are going to be long SPY for our second trade here, guys. So if we can pull up my spreadsheet here, we're going to fill this out right now. So Sharif, what is what is the entry price on that, Sharif?
Yes, I don't. What am I supposed to be doing right now? I don't understand.
65. So it's our entry price. We're entering. Yeah, there we go. All right.
So the current price 605.39.
605.39. Perfect. Our target price being a 2-to-1 would put us at 607.39.
Yes, sir.
All right. Our stop loss is going to put us at 604.39. 39.
I think that should be good because I don't think that's the low of the day,
that's
right?
That's the low. Is that the low of the day there?
It's below the low.
It's below the low of the day, guys. So let's see how this one works out, because at 155 we are going to be out. So this is trade number 2, guys. You see the results of the first one up here. So let's see what we got going on with this one, guys. We're going to keep these metrics the exact same. Shares the exact same, just the date is different. Time in, we're going to try to keep relatively the same, and the time out as well too, guys. So back-to-back long days. Let's see how we do as a collective unit. And what we're going to do here as well, so we have them up on our actually, let's do it here. So we have it up on a display somewhere, 604.39. Bang, we'll put that right there. We'll just adjust this a little bit more to the 30s. That's our stop there, guys. And then we are going to look for 607.39, which is going to be a little bit of a hefty recovery on this front. So let's see which one we get to first, or we just decide to trade within this range. It's a good setup for an iron condor, that looks like, doesn't it, folks? But hey, that is what it is. We got our second one of the session going, and RDDT is moving. Let's make sure I have my position in this one. I still do. I should have added a little bit more here, guys, I think, on this one, because we did have the TSLA loss and the break even on IBIT, all right? So keep that in mind. And then we have a new pull up as well too, folks. So we have Oracle after the bell, RDDT, which is ripping currently, Coin just due to Bitcoin, the Bitcoin movement, and then Apple at all-time highs and still holding these levels relatively strongly, okay? So keep that in mind. I think Apple has been trading fantastic. That volume did step in on that T-Mobile news, so keep that in mind. And the volume was there as well too. So we have this doji. Let's see how the price action reacts around these levels, okay, guys? So make sure you have those stops in place and just follow the price action. It is a little bit tougher of a day, especially with the SPY selling and looking like it wants to make a new leg lower. So these support levels, if they are breached, I do suspect some more downside on the Qs and the SPY. So if that breaks and holds, which it currently has, I do think that there is going to be more downside, okay? So we have that there, folks, and RDDT is moving higher. I don't think it's time to take just too much off just yet, but we might take a little bit off just to save some of these unrealized. No, you know what? It's moving. So there's no need for me to take any off right now, especially if it's trending higher and continuing to move. We'll put a little order out at 170 actually. We'll just do a little 10% at 170 because that is the whole dollar mark there, guys. All right. So what do you got going on there, Shree?
We're still short Apple. Well, hopefully this kind of curls back down. I've been keeping. No worries. I'm still short Apple, Joseph. Okay. Still waiting for this possibly to curl back down. I'd like to see what it does with the volume weighted average price, which is still about like $1 south of here. So I've got a lot of patience to pack. I mean, I don't know if we continue to move up, because it's a 3-candle green recovery here, but topping tail candles is what's characterizing these green candles right now. So that's the situation. Yeah, let's this whole situation unfold over here.
I thought Neil was getting a new chair. Yeah, I don't know.
It'd be interesting to see what they got in their hand, because this package came in on Friday, and neither one wanted to open it. Ah, that's right. It is the Yeti thing there. I just love how they interact. They have no idea we're looking at them, right? So we're just gonna let this whole thing unfold over here.
Yeah,
you guys can see how they deal with each other.
Yeah.
You know?
What's Sean doing with it, putting it up on the wall? That's crazy.
What is that? Is that a Yeti?
I have
Why does
no
Neil have
idea.
his phone out? What's he doing?
They're comparing it to something, so I don't know. Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
What is this, though?
I think it is a Yeti. Yeah. Because
But what are we doing with the Yeti, though? What is
You guys have been on. Hey, man, I didn't do nothing, bro. I didn't do nothing.
Oh, no.
Hey, man. Ram just got in trouble. So, yeah, that's her. Shout out to Refrain. Microsoft is curling back down too, Joseph. I might have the wrong short on here right now. I'm short Apple on that whole news, but Softy is really putting in aggressively lower lows and lower highs. It really looks destined for that 455 RAM, where the volume weighted average price is hanging out. We've been putting consecutively lower highs. So, you know, Softy at an interesting level right here because it did have support at this 455 to 455.50 to about, you know, 455.75. There was that 2-candle holdup off that high day touch that we had earlier at around 11:30, but we've been putting in lower highs since then. So I'm trying to pack my patience over here on this Apple trade. We're about 20 pennies in the money, but that's not where I want to take it off. I'm looking for a bigger move down on Apple on the back of weakness or apparent weakness coming vis-a-vis T-Mobile, saying the upgrade cycle is quite lackluster. Whether or not that directly affects Apple, we'll have to wait and see because, you know, the upgrade cycle includes all phones, not just the iPhone 16. So, Sad Mahmood says, that's your lunchbox, beast. No, man, I can show you my the Tupperware that I bring my lunch in every day. It's quite sizable as well. It's got to fit 12 eggs, Joseph. Come on. I didn't mix
that's
veggies,
crazy.
dude.
Is that what that consists
Yeah, but
of?
only like 3 or 4 yolks. Dude, there was this guy on TikTok. He smashed 12 eggs whole, Joseph, with the yolk and with the white.
Yeah.
I think he did it for 90 days. He had high cholesterol going into the whole situation. His cholesterol dropped.
Oh,
I don't
really?
understand how. When you have like 12 yolks a day,
That's
he was
crazy.
smashing eggs over and over and over and ended up fixing it.
Cholesterol is like more hereditary too, isn't it?
It is.
Along
My
those
old
lines,
man so jokes, bro.
Yeah.
He went to see the cardiologist, and then she sent him to a dietitian so that he could have like a proper diet, so you wouldn't have high cholesterol. And she's like, "Look, man, you know your baselines are all high, this, that, and the other. It's genetic." He's like, "What should I go back in my mother's womb? Why am I here?
Yeah,
you know
what am I here?
You're to
What
tell
do you want me to do about
what
it?
I need to do."
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
He was,
exactly.
He was angry that day, Joseph.
He's angry. That's all right. That's all right, man. Guys,
Everything's good though.
So yeah, let's see, guys. Let us know what you're looking at. AMD. I mean, someone mentioned Workday as well too. It's a red day in the market, guys. It needs to breathe. So expect the majority of stocks to kind of follow. We have Microsoft and Apple that are just two of the outliers. Other than that, everything else is relatively weak. Let's pull up Tesla because we were expecting some more continued strength in this, but unfortunately we didn't get it. But we are starting to curl over a little bit here, Sharif. And am I going to get a fill on this RD? Like look at this. At 170, it doesn't want to fill at 170 on RDDT. Come on, let's go. So yeah, let's see what we got here on Tesla. I do kind of like how we're sitting on top of these resistance zones. Potential turnaround pattern here, a double bottom on this front. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to look to participate in this one as well too on TSLL. I'm going to use TSLL as my vehicle, guys. TSLL. Oh, there we go. Finally got the fill on RDDT and then pulls back after that. So fantastic. Feels real nice on that one. So yeah, I mean the pullback doesn't feel fantastic, but we're going to take one final stab here on TSLL here, guys, and that's it because we did go 0 for 2 on this front. So we got one more stab on it here, and then that's it. We're not going to bother with it anymore, my guy. What are you cooking up there?
Still doing my tiger thing, still looking at Apple. No, nothing different over here. Still trying to work into this short. I am kind of short bias on Apple, but now we have a 4-candle green setup, but we're still not really moving in a parabolic way, but the shorts aren't jumping in. That's the thing that has me concerned about this this whole trade. We're putting in higher lows after that dip trade into about 245.75. That ain't the move. I'm looking for the shorts to jump in there or not. So Apple clearly had a buy program today. You could see that in how it was trading early on. I thought that all came to an end once we started doing this consolidation dance, and I thought it would certainly not last once we got that T-Mobile news midday. Maybe it doesn't. Like, I mean, we still haven't printed above this 247 candle. This was the candle when we got the news headline. We're continuing to move up with higher lows through that $0.50. I'm only a few pennies out of the money, short 246.46, but this isn't the look. I'm looking for it to curl back down, 4-candle green setup on AAPL. So we'll keep tabs on that. Tesla. Looking good here, you know, off that 379 low. It's gotten a bit of a range though. Let's call a spade a spade. Look at that 385 area top over here, and we're kind of trading at 383. It seems like it has a bit of a 381 to about 385. Go ahead, Joseph.
Oh yeah, sorry, there we go. Guys, time to pay some bills. As Sharif says, Firefly Neuroscience has taken a bold step in advancing brain health technology. In collaboration with Bright Minds Biosciences, Firefly's innovative AI-powered platform has successfully analyzed data from a groundbreaking phase 1 clinical trial. Using advanced EEG technology to track brain activity, this data unlocks new potential in treating neurological and mental disorders, reinforcing Firefly's position at the forefront of the brain health innovation. As they prepare for phase 2, this partnership signals exciting developments for the future of neuroplasticity, or I can't even say it, plastic treatment, Firefly Neuroscience, shaping the future of brain health. Yeah. What is, how do you, I'm not even familiar with this term here.
What is that word? Let me see. What's that? Neuropsychiatric?
Neuropsychiatric. That's a new one there for me, guys. So, hey.
Yeah, I think
Firefly Neuroscience.
I just hope that they do well in their endeavors because they look like they've got some good objectives there, Joseph.
So there you go.
So that's the situation. I was talking to Tony there in the chat, and he's like, Tesla's very choppy. Tony, I could not agree with you more on this one. That's why we were talking about that range, Tony. That's how I'd look at Tesla right now until it breaks and takes decisively that 385 level. Let's show them, Ram, because this is what I'm talking about over here on TSLA. So this is the area crest that we got into when we breached the 20. It's essentially a 385 top, Tony, but look at all the bottoming tail candles around here. Where are they all bottom out? 381. So we've got a decent $4 range with this area being an outlier. No question about it. But look how quickly we retraced. Even when you look at the candle before that outlying area at 1055, it's also holding up at 381. So my humble submission, we've got a bit of a $4 range until otherwise proved